Hey guys, HDvee here, and welcome back to a brand new video going over the Isle of Armor DLC. Today, we've just been given a bunch of brand new information about the upcoming expansion pass. Thanks to IGN, they basically got 30 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay, and they've spoken about all of their findings from that 30 minutes. And there's a lot of questions that get answered about like the levels and everything is really cool. Very interesting. So of course, the article will be linked in the description down below. We're going to go over it today and just pinpoint the most exciting things and the most interesting things. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 750. Make sure to leave a comment as well. What is your favorite Pokemon so far from the Isle of Armor? And of course, subscribe if you're brand new. We do daily Pokemon content on this channel. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, this is the article. Like I say, I will link it in the description down below. I'm not going to read it word for word because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, as you can see, but there is a lot of really interesting information, and we get into that straight off the bat. So, basically says, we first learned about the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass back in January. Since then, we've been served a trickling of information about everything from new items to new legendary Pokemon. And then they basically just go on to how they got some new information. It says, there are two specific things I want to point out from my hands-off demo. First, I noticed that the Pokemon in the first trainer battle were around level 60, the same as the highest level Pokemon in the trainer's party. Nintendo's, I don't want to butcher this name, Demetrius Boggs told me that the new Pokemon expansion pass areas, trainers, and wild Pokemon scale with your own Pokemon levels. So what that basically means is you can go into the Isle of Armor with any kind of team. If you want to go and treat it as like a brand new game and go in with like a level 5 Galarian Slowpoke or whatever, the trainers opposing Pokemon will also scale to the highest level of your team. So you can go in with a really small team and just enjoy it as a new game, or you can go in with like a full-fledged level 100 team. It's not going to make it any easier for you because all of the trainers Pokemon are also going to be level 100, which I think is like the best thing they could have done. I think they've absolutely smashed that out of the park. This was something that was really worrying me. Like, I didn't want it to be like super easy, and the fact that they've brought in like level scaling, I think is just going to make the Isle of Armor so much better. Like, I'm personally going to go in with like a brand new team. I'm going to be going in like a Galarian Slowpoke, and that's it. And then obviously I'll get Kubfu and everything. So obviously my level is going to be super low anyway. I'll probably make them like 10 or 15. But I'm just so excited that that is actually a thing. Like, the level scaling is such a good idea. Really happy to see that. Then it goes on to say, not only that, but these areas can be accessed as soon as you reach the wild area of Pokemon Sword and Shield, just a few hours into the games. So whether you've just started or have already completed every post-game activity and have a full party of level 100 Pokemon, both parts of the expansion pass, the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra, will match your Pokemon's levels. So yeah, you don't even have to have played loads of Sword and Shield. As soon as you get to the wild area, you're allowed to go into the Isle of Armor or the Crown Tundra. So yeah, it's not like catered towards like you completing the game or anything like that. It is simply get to the wild area, you can go into the Isle of Armor. Bro, I'm just so stoked, man, that there's level scaling, man. I'm so worried about that, but I'm excited, man. I'm so happy about that. That's just like, it's made my day, man. As of now, we're unsure whether the DLC areas will continue to scale with your level, or if the areas become locked to the level your Pokemon were when you first visit. I don't think that's going to be the case, because obviously if you come in with like a level 15, like I'm probably going to do, and then you just give yourself like 3 extra large XP candies, that's going to make your level like, I don't know, like 50 or something. And then you're just going to be going up against level 15. So I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the levels are just going to keep scaling to your highest. I think that's would be the smartest route to take for this. But we'll update this as soon as we hear back from the Pokemon Company. Regardless, this is great news. Anyone will be able to enjoy the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass at an appropriate level, regardless of how high or low their Pokemon are, though I can't comment on how difficult or easy the content will be. We already know the Isle of Armor would at least include an additional wild area, but this demo confirmed that the entirety of the island is basically one big massive wild area, with many more diverse terrains than on the mainland. I saw coastal beaches, swampy marshes, lush forests, gloomy caves, and this is from the first half an hour as well, so there's going to be like loads to explore straight off the bat, which is going to be so cool. And even deserts during my short tour. At many intervals during the story and upon entering new areas, the camera swept over each spot, creating a beautifully panoramic effect that highlighted the topography of the island. It also seems as though all of these areas can be explored as soon as you get to the island without needing to progress the story, which leaves the pacing to the player's hands, which is really cool. You can literally go out, because obviously it's all just going to be scaled to your level. There's not really any place that's going to be like too difficult to go. It's always going to be like a good level for you to go, so you can literally explore everywhere, catch everything, and you're still not going to be like over leveled or anything, because the trainers levels are just going to keep scaling to you. So you can't just like break it like by just giving yourself loads and loads of XP candies. I'm guessing the players, the opposing Pokemon are also going to just keep scaling, which is so cool. Like, I'm probably just going to explore like loads and just see where like all the different Pokemon that I can catch, because I want to see what's in the Isle of Armor. And obviously there's going to be different Pokemon in like the gloomy caves, the lush forests, the swampy marshes. There's going to be Pokemon all over the place. So definitely worth just exploring, you know, just enjoy it. And then make your team from what you find. And then you can go and start actually playing through the story, which again will just be scaled to your level. Overall, each of these micro areas seem to be a little bit more full with environment touches like logs or trees with the mainland wild area was. I also saw Pokemon interact with their surroundings in ways I hadn't before. For example, I saw a Pokemon on a tree branch in the forest. Though Nintendo couldn't confirm how it could interact with this Pokemon, I assume it could be lured down from the tree by whistling at it, like you would lure flying Pokemon down from the sky in the base Pokemon Sword and Shield. So that's really cool. The game's been given a lot more personality. I also love how the fact that they can't even say what Pokemon it was. Like, it's either going to be a new Pokemon or just something we don't know is back in the DLC, which is just even more exciting. But yeah, I love that, man. It's just, bro, it's gonna be good, man. I also saw a huge and I mean massive Wailord in the water from the beach. I'm not sure whether this was to be a scale representation of an overworld Pokemon or if it wasn't part of the story and had some other purpose. Most likely it was just a wild Pokemon in the overworld. I know that's not that surprising, but seeing a giant Pokemon in the water brought me joy in that moment. So that's really cool. So hopefully Pokemon sizes have actually been scaled to like what they should be in the wild area, because Wailord is bloody huge, so he should be like massive in the overworld. I did ask in the large inclusion of all Pokemon previously unavailable in Pokemon Sword and Shield was in response to player feedback, but the Pokemon company's Elving G said that the Isle of Armor expansion was already being developed before Pokemon Sword and Shield were released, so it seems as though it was always the plan, though he couldn't be certain. Which is kind of interesting. So they were always going to do DLC. Like, it wasn't to do with the backlash or anything. Their plan was to always do DLC for the Isle of Armor. Of course, this was more to the demo than just a tour of the island and its myriad Pokemon. I also got to see the first 30 minutes of the story, which included introductions to Clara and Avery, Mustard, a legendary Pokemon trainer who once trained Leon and will now train you, and your NPCs that call the Master Dojo on the Isle of Armor their home. So obviously just finding out more about the characters. All those characters we obviously already know about and stuff like that. So then it's obviously going to go over like story details, like you have a quick battle and stuff. Which I don't really want to read too much into, because like I said, I want it to be all like super new and surprising for me. I want to go into it blind. I don't really want to know anything. Obviously, I'm guessing you obviously have a battle for Kubfu. I don't know if it says that. I'm not reading it. But obviously, if you want to read the article, then again, it will be linked in the description. And again, big huge shout out to IGN for like being able to post this. It's really cool. And then there's they basically go on to talk about how there's like little side quests and stuff. One of the challenges involves collecting max mushrooms, were used to create the previously revealed max suit, which unlocks the ability for a Pokemon to Gigantamax. They only saw a single different trial, one I can't reveal just yet. It reminded me of the mini games you might encounter as part of Pokemon Sun and Moon's Island Challenge, except perhaps less involved. It's worth mentioning that I saw a mysterious Pokemon looking over the main character from the top of the dojo, which is obviously Kubfu. Because of previous promotional materials for the DLC, we know that this is Kubfu, a fighting-type legendary Pokemon that evolves into Urshifu. We know this Pokemon is an integral part of the story of the Isle of Armor DLC, and its evolution is dependent on which of the Tower of the two fists you take on, which we obviously know about. And I'm not trying to read stuff that's gonna like give too much away. I saw one of those towers, yeah, something about Rocket League, I don't know, interesting. I loved exploring the wild area and catching a wide variety of new Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. In fact, it was one of my favorite new features. Considering that the Isle of Armor DLC seems right on my alley, though I do hope the story is robust on its own and doesn't rely on Pokemon catching as a way to artificially pad its playtime too much. Then again, who doesn't like catching Pokemon in new places? So yeah, to basically sum up this whole article, there's side quests and stuff. I think one involves an Alolan Diglett. If we go on to Cerebi real quick, I think this is getting updated as I'm recording this video. But it basically says, IGN have listed a side quest where you have to find a dozen hidden Alolan Diglett across the area. And then there's there's side quests and stuff. Obviously there's level scaling. You can access it as soon as you get to the wild area. And that's like the main things from the article, which was really cool. I love the fact that like the biggest things for me, obviously, the level scaling, and just the fact that because of that, it allows you to just explore everywhere, and it doesn't mean you're going to get over leveled, because that's always something I'm a little bit cautious about. Like, I don't usually explore everywhere because obviously I don't want to be too over leveled and then just swim through the game. The fact that you can explore everywhere, catch everything, and then carry on through the game and everything's going to be a good level, it's going to be awesome. So I'm really excited about it. But that's going to be everything for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like, leave a comment. What do you think about this? What do you think about the level scaling, everything that we've gone over today? And of course, subscribe if you're brand new. That's everything from me though. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.